Welcome in, everyone. Today, we've got an incredibly practical explainer lined up for you, breaking down the exact anatomy of a healthy daily diet. Look, it's so easy to get bogged down by confusing dietary trends, right? So today, we're cutting through the noise to explore what the data actually says should be sitting right in front of you at mealtime. Let's jump in.
So to kick things off, let's ask ourselves a surprisingly simple question. We all eat every single day. I mean, it's our most basic human routine, right? A lot of times we just do it completely on autopilot. But how often do we actually stop to ask, do we really know how to combine our foods correctly? Because honestly, knowing exactly what to put on your plate changes absolutely everything. It changes how you feel, how you grow, and how your body fights off illness. It's not just about filling up an empty stomach, it's about giving your body the strategic tools it literally needs to thrive.
Okay, part one, decoding the balanced diet. Let's look at the actual science behind what we're trying to achieve here.
Now, a balanced diet isn't just some polite suggestion you'd read in a health textbook. It is the required fuel for human machinery. We're talking about taking all your essential nutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water, and combining them in very precise proportions. When you get this mix right, it's like a biological symphony. Your carbs kick in to provide this immediate thrust of energy, your proteins get right to work repairing muscle fibers and generating new cells, and the vitamins and minerals, well, they act like complex software, regulating your entire immune system. It builds this invisible shield against illness, and it's constructed entirely out of what you choose to eat.
All right, moving on to building your healthy plate. Let's take all those abstract nutrients we just talked about and put them onto a real-world, actionable guide.
And this brings us to what is basically the golden rule of daily nutrition. And honestly, it is surprisingly simple but profoundly effective. Picture your plate right now. Exactly half of the food in front of you, a full 50%, belongs to vegetables and fruits. The remaining half, you just split that perfectly down the middle. 25% goes to carbohydrates, which are your energy drivers, and the final 25% is for your proteins, your body's structural building blocks. It's such a brilliant mental model. By just visualizing this geometry every single time you serve yourself, you automatically align with the science. You don't need a scale, you definitely don't need a calculator, you just need to map out that 50-25-25 split.
Now here's the absolute best part about this. You don't need a massive grocery budget or fancy imported health foods to pull this off. We can hit these exact targets using totally accessible local staples. For that massive half plate of veggies and fruits, everyday items like sukuma wiki, spinach, bananas, and oranges pack all the essential vitamins you need for robust digestion and high immunity. For your energy quarter, staples like ugali, rice, chapati, or maize do all the heavy lifting to keep you moving. For the protein quarter, beans, meat, fish, milk, or eggs are absolutely perfect for repairing body tissues. Oh, and there's one vital little addition here, a small portion of healthy fats. Think a slice of avocado, a handful of ground nuts, or just your simple cooking oil. These are dense energy sources that keep your brain functioning over long hours.
But wait, while we focus so much on the solid stuff, clean water is the non-negotiable, unsung hero of this whole operation. It is your body's crucial engine oil. Check this out. Without enough water, your body literally cannot execute the chemical reactions required to extract the nutrients from the food you just ate. Crazy, right? Staying hydrated ensures your digestion runs smoothly and essentially facilitates every single microscopic function your body performs.
So what about common mistakes to avoid? Where do our daily habits usually slip up?
Look, it is incredibly easy to fall into dietary traps, mostly just out of pure convenience. Ideally, we want balanced proportions, regular meals, natural whole foods, and lots of hydration. But let's be real, the reality for a lot of us looks completely flipped. Picture a massive mountain of carbohydrates, like a huge pile of rice or ugali, accompanied by just a tiny, sad little garnish of greens. That completely shatters our golden rule. Or maybe it's the habit of skipping meals entirely, and then relying on heavily processed foods and sugary sodas just to desperately survive that afternoon slump. And, of course, simply forgetting to drink enough water when the day gets busy.
Okay, let's talk about the payoff, the benefits of balance. What actually happens when we get this right?
When you correct those mistakes and actually follow the plate method, the physical rewards are just incredible. And it goes far beyond just satisfying a hunger pang. Yes, it naturally maintains a healthy body weight without the absolute misery of extreme starvation diets. And yes, it builds a literal internal shield against devastating chronic diseases like high blood pressure and diabetes. Plus, it guarantees steady, reliable energy levels, so you can completely bypass that brutal mid-afternoon crash. But actually, the most immediate surprising reward is mental. Think about this. Your brain accounts for only about 2% of your body weight, yet it burns nearly 20% of your daily energy. It relies heavily on those stable blood sugars and healthy fats to maintain sharp, unshakable concentration. Your daily focus is directly tied to your food.
Which brings us to our final takeaway. Your plate, your power. Let's empower you to take control, starting with your very next meal.
Turning all this into a daily reality really just boils down to 4 strategic steps. Number 1, plan ahead. Because, let's face it, we all make terrible food choices when we're already starving and rushing for convenience. Number 2, chase variety. Including different food groups daily gives your immune system a much wider spectrum of armor. 3, lean into natural whole foods and take a step back from the highly processed options. And finally, number 4, practice portion control. And you don't even need to overthink this one. Just let that visual plate guide do the work for you. Half veggies, quarter carbs, quarter protein. Boom, done.
And I really want to emphasize this point because there is this massive misconception out there that eating a balanced diet requires a huge budget and all these trendy, expensive ingredients. That simply isn't true. True balance is about strategy, not spending. It's about choosing the right combinations of affordable, locally available foods right from your neighborhood market. You literally have everything you need within reach to eat perfectly.
So, here is my challenge to you. The very next time you sit down to eat, I want you to take a hard look at your plate. Ask yourself, are you strategically fueling your body for a vibrant, healthy future, or are you just filling an empty stomach? Your plate really is your power to a healthy life. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me, and I highly encourage you to put that visual geometry to work today.